Oh my God, it's a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Look who it is. We'll hear who it is. You can't see us. There's no cameras. Someone could be seeing us. I don't know who's outside that window.
I see you.
Who is it? Who could it be?
I see you and you see me.
Now you're being just completely ridiculous. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode, finally, of the Laugh and Be Blessed podcast with Jake and Chia Rubel.
Hi, friends.
We are sorry that it's been a while since we've done a podcast.
We suck.
Well, it's not that we suck. Just great things have been going on. We've been busy, good busy. And really, every single time that we've sat down to do the podcast, something has come up. I will be completely honest. The last time we were going to sit down and do a podcast, we got in a huge fight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got a really big fight. And, you know, the thing is that we've been married now. We've been together. Well, we've been together for 16 years. Mm-hmm. And at this point, a fight doesn't have to mean anything. Like, there was no reason. I don't even remember. Like, there was no. I'm pretty sure that there was no. Oh, it's because we couldn't find. You threw away the registration to my car.
Oh, yeah. And I still haven't got that.
Yeah, well, you suck. So we should.
Well, I just gotta go to the B&B and pick it up.
Yeah, I know. But so Chia threw away the registration and my credit card that came in the mail.
Oh, we don't know if I did the credit card.
Well, someone.
I know for sure the B&B stuff was me because I opened it. I said, "Oh, look, there's your registration stickers," and then I just put them back on the counter.
And they got thrown in the trash. Because see, we live in a house where there are 3 adults. And 2 of them don't care about anything and throw everything in the trash.
That's not true.
You and your mom just throw mail away. A lot? No, you and your mom.
Are you
just
the second person?
You guys are just throwing mail away.
No,
I don't understand it either.
I
don't understand it. Like, just give. If there's something with my name on it, you could just hand it to me. I don't want.
I think those have my name on it.
No, I don't like the fact that you guys get mail and you look down and you see the name Jake Rubel and you just go garbage and throw it away. Like, why does my name automatically make you think of trash?
You could look at the stacks of mail sitting around more often. Like, you see them too.
Look, I'm on the road a lot, Chia.
No. After they sit there for a little bit, it's like, obviously nobody cares.
Yeah, but it's easier if I just blame you.
And it's easier if we just hand you your mail. Like, here you go, sir.
That's what I don't understand. Why can't you guys just treat me like a king around here?
I'll bring him in on, like, an old tray.
Yeah, preferably wearing very little clothing. What? Did
Me
that make
and
you...
my mom?
No, whoa, hold on
you
a
want my
second.
mom to bring you
No, I was talking about you.
No.
You said I can bring them to you. I don't think you said we can bring them to you.
I think
saying, you said I can bring them to you.
I think that you just want the ladies of the house to... Yeah.
So welcome to another episode of Laugh and Be Blessed. We've definitely missed doing the podcast. We have missed you guys, and we do apologize. I honestly think the last episode we did was with AJ. Yeah. So it's been a while since we've done this. We are sorry. I've been kind of debating on whether or not we should just like start a new season next year. Just be like, all right, well, every year on the holidays, maybe we'll take just a little break, and then we'll just do like season 2. But that's a lot of planning. And
we don't do that.
Yeah, who cares? We're just going to keep doing the podcast. So that's what we're going to do. So that's what we're here for right now. Mm-hmm. We're just going to catch you guys up on some stuff. We're going to talk about some stuff. We've been watching some great movies, playing some great games. We've had a whole bunch of stuff. We haven't even talked about Disney. We went to Disney since the last time. Yeah. And I've worked consistently almost every single weekend since our last podcast.
Yeah.
So it's been great. Speaking of working, I do want to catch everybody up on where I'm going to be because we have some great news coming up.
Mark your calendars. Jake could be coming to a town near you.
Before I get into where I'm about to be, I do want to talk about some pretty cool shows that I just recently have been on. So let me go back a little bit. AJ, I believe he was here the week of Halloween. We've not done a podcast since the week of Halloween, I don't think. So that means that was before... No, there's no way. Seriously? So, I hadn't even talked about... Oh, gosh, I hate you. Stop. Don't do that. Why are you doing that?
Because I wanted candy.
So, we're doing a podcast, and you're just like, this is the time to eat.
I bet nobody heard me.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if anyone else did. I don't want to hear that. I don't even like listening. Okay, so, anyways... I think I've talked about this on the show before. I have this... I hate hearing people eat things. Drinking doesn't bother me as much. It's just hearing the noise of people eating things drives me nuts. And I have headphones on, and you just lean into the microphone and started chewing a tiny baby little Reese cup.
You don't like that, do you?
All right. So anyway, so AJ was here. I believe we did that. It was like, actually, I think it was like October. It was like the first week of October, because I think that was the week that I was going to Zany's in Nashville. That's how long ago it's been.
Well, the first week of October is when we went to Disney.
Yeah. So anyway, so I did the shows at Zany's in Nashville. I hosted 3 shows for Killer Bees, which if you don't know who Killer Bees is, look him up. I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying this guy was great. He's still a hilarious comedian. He's a super nice guy. But I am saying, like, back in the day, this dude was like it. Mm-hmm. Like, he was really good friends and still is with Leonard Skinner, the band Leonard Skinner. Like, he knows a lot of them. I met Ed King's widow while I was there because she came to one of the shows. Their Kid Rock's manager came and hung out with us, and me and him kind of we hung out by ourselves for a little bit, and ended up next time I'm in Nashville, he wants to hang out. Like, it was a really cool time. So Killer Bees is great. Check him out. Those were such fun shows. His opener was a comedian named Von Michael, who is from Washington. And he was hilarious. He was super nice. Me and him really hit it off. He's sober. He's a sober comic, so we talked a lot about that. And I have more news about Vaughn coming up. So and then I opened for Donnie Baker 2 shows that weekend as well at Zany's. So it was a full weekend. I had 5 shows at Zany's. It was so much fun. I love that club so much. So I can't wait to get back. I'm actually in the process of making some cool shirts for Zany's, because the staff there loved my shirts, and it was pretty cool to the first night whenever I gave some shirts out. The next night of the shows, like, some of the staff members came to the show wearing my shirts. And I was like, all right. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And then the next week ended up doing a couple more shows with Donnie Baker. That was a lot of fun. Then we had Halloween. That was, it was a good time. Then I went to Nebraska. I haven't even talked about Nebraska. So then I went to Nebraska with Donnie Baker. And that was really cool because while I was there, one of my childhood best friends messaged me and was like, dude, are you in Nebraska? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, are you in Lincoln, Nebraska? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, so am I. So he would just happen to be working there that same weekend. So I ended up getting him some tickets to the show. He came out to see us and hung out with us. So that was a good time because I hadn't seen him in a long time. Like, growing up, his dad and my dad were best friends. So I was at their house constantly. I went and watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 and 2, I think, actually, in theaters with him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, there's a bond right there. So Nebraska was a really good time. I loved that, of course. And then had a couple small shows after that. And that they were great. They were just like one-nighters and stuff. And then at the beginning of this month, I went and had a weekend at the Grove in Arkansas. And the Grove is a comedy club in Arkansas. It's in Lowell. And it is great. I had so much fun there. The owners are fantastic people. They put me up in like this, like a lake house. But it was like a little cabin that was like on this big hill, on like a hillside overlooking this lake. And the headliner, the headliner was Coleman Green, so me and Coleman were both going to be staying there, and then Coleman had a friend with him, and I think the friend was going to stay in the cabin as well. So he keeps asking me, like, all the questions at the club. He's like, have you been to the cabin yet? And I was like, no, man, I'm going to go, whenever I'm done here, I'm going to go check it out. And he's like, all right. He's like, yeah, I just don't know about it. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm not sure about it. So I don't know what happened, but he never came to the cabin. He went and got a hotel room. Yeah. So I don't know if he got scared of it or if he couldn't find it. I don't really know exactly what the details are there, but I ended up having the cabin completely to myself all weekend. That was pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, that was nice. And then right after that, so I had a great time in Arkansas. And then I left, came back home for a couple days. Then I went to a place called Egg Harbor, Wisconsin. I'd never heard of this place. Most people haven't. It's in Door County, Wisconsin. Egg Harbor is north of Green Bay. So there's the Upper Peninsula of of Wisconsin. That's where like Wisconsin and Michigan meet. Like it goes up and around Lake Michigan. But there's another like little branch that comes up like into the lake that doesn't go anywhere. It just ends. And Egg Harbor's at the tip of that. So like I'm driving down the road. Everything's fine. I think I'm wearing like shorts and a t-shirt because that's usually what I wear whenever I go on trips. And I'm driving, everything's good. I swear, I like crossed over this county line. It was instantly dark at like 3:30 in the afternoon. It's just instantly dark and snowing. And I was like, I could look in my rearview mirror and see sunlight and it'd be completely fine. So I go to this, just a beautiful resort. And then they put me up in like a super nice suite. And this amazing dinner. It was like this chicken dinner with like mac and cheese with lobster in it, or crab or something like that. I can't remember what was in it. It was either lobster. It was some kind of food that the Bible doesn't technically want us to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The most delicious kind, of course. So. So it was really, really good food. And then I go do the show. I'm working with Larry Reeb. Everybody calls him Uncle Lair. Working with him. And he's like this amazing comic from like, he used to, he had an HBO special with Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, okay.
So like this guy's very old school. Really enjoyed working with him. I actually was with him the next night too. But that night, look, I'm not going to talk bad about any of these rooms. Because the room was great. The club was fine. I liked the club. I liked the manager. I liked the staff. I liked Uncle Lair. But I swear, they bust in a retirement home this night. I'm not kidding. Like, some of those people I was looking at, and I was like, why are you with me tonight, not at my wife's work? Like, you need to be with her. They had walkers and all kind, and I was like, these people are not going to have a good time. But it went okay. It went fine. It wasn't like... luckily, I didn't kill. You know what I mean?
That's awful. Was it bussin' though?
Jesus. Calm down, Jasmine. So I leave Landmark Resort in Egg Harbor. I leave the next morning because there's a snowstorm coming. So, and it was supposed to hit at like 10 o'clock in the morning. So I leave at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I leave... And I have to drive like 4.5 hours south to La Crosse, Wisconsin. So I make the drive down. It wasn't that bad, but for some reason it kept taking me all these weird county roads and like side streets and stuff. Like I wasn't on the highway that much. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of weird. But I get to La Crosse. I'm at Moxie's Pub that night, which is the comedy club that's in the hotel. And I love that. I don't know how most comedians feel about that. I love... whenever it's in the hotel.
Yeah.
So like you go, you do the show, you can get food to go, and you just walk up to your room.
Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah, that was nice. And that room was bussin'.
It was bussin'.
Oh my God, that club was so much fun. I was with Uncle Lair that night too, but man, we had so much fun. It was packed. It was sold out. The staff was fantastic. The room was really cool. But man, I had so much fun that night. Like... It was one of those deals to where, like, a lot of times, and I'm still, like, a really new comic, so I can't, like, say, like, I know, like, whenever I hit the stage, what's good. No, but there's times that, like, you just start a show, and within the first, like, 30 seconds, you're like, okay, this is going to be a blast. Yeah. And that was one of the funnest shows I've had. Because La Crosse, Wisconsin, like, I looked up to see if there was, like, interesting facts about like the town, and I usually do that, and I don't always use it, but sometimes I just like to know where I'm at. It's like, okay, well, is there anything cool to check out here? Well, it turns out La Crosse, Wisconsin is where Ed Gein was born. Oh. You know, famous furniture builder. He had the best lampshades.
Oh my God, Jay.
So Ed Gein, for those of you that don't know, is a very infamous, I guess is the word you would use. Infamous serial killer from Wisconsin. He was born in La Crosse, Wisconsin, right? So I started, and again, Wisconsin is weird because it's only daylight like a couple hours a day. Mm-hmm. So I started the show off by being like, Oh my God, thank you guys so much. And there's a snowstorm also. So a lot of people, like the guy that was hosting the show went up and he was just like, yeah, there's a little bit of snow coming, but it's not a big deal because it's only going to be like 8 inches, 8 to 10 inches, not a big deal. And I was like, okay, dude. So they're like, yeah, that's not even a snowstorm yet. And so I get up and I started the show off by basically being like, you know, how do you guys not go crazy? I'm like, it's thank you so much for having me here where it's daylight from 2:30 to 3:34 every day. How do you guys not go crazy? And a couple was like, we do. And I was like, oh, that's right, you do. Because Ed Gein was born here.
Oh, jeez.
And they loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, he was born like a block down the street.
Oh my gosh.
So they were all about it. And so like I made a bunch of jokes about that. Ended up having a killer set. Had so much fun. The next night I had to drive, I think it was like 9 hours or 9.5 hours to just outside of Flint, Michigan. There's a village that's called Goodrich, I think. And so I drove all the way there into the show. That was fine, but I was so delirious and tired by the time that I got there. I drank so many cups of coffee and then got on stage. And I don't even know what happened there, but they all laughed. They all had fun. I got paid and then drove 5.5 hours back home. That was insane that night. I should have stayed somewhere.
I'm glad you came home.
I really missed you. And I really wanted to see you. So here's the funny thing about me saying all that stuff about Ed Gein. So the next weekend, which was last Friday.
Serial killers are always funny.
Yeah, which was not last Friday. That was Christmas Eve, but the Friday before. So I went back to Wisconsin to, what was the name of that? Oh, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. And my buddy Grant Volkmar went with me too, which was cool because he was just going to hang out, but he ended up being able to host the shows for us that night, and that was really cool. But we go there, and I thought that since I'm back in Wisconsin, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to bring back the whole funny thing about the Ed Gein. I was like, and it was basically how many times can I say?
Speak?
I don't know. It turns out basically it's my favorite word to say now.
Basically.
Basically, it's the basic word, basics.
Oh my God.
So I started the show off by kind of doing the same thing where I was like, yeah, you know, I was in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I was like, and you guys know what La Crosse is famous for? And they were all like, bars.
Oh.
And I was like, no, Ed Gein. I was like, that's where Ed Gein's from. And the crowd shut down so quick. Like, they just all stared at me. And I was like, all right. So then I just completely went into just sidestepped it, went into something different, got the crowd on my side. Everything was great. We had a super fun night. After the show, I'm standing outside talking to Grant, and I was like, dude, so that Ed Gein thing fell really flat, huh?
Were you in the town where he was?
So he was like, yeah, man, what was up with that? And I said, I bet he lived here.
Yeah.
And I said, because he was born in La Crosse, but I bet he moved here because he was called the Plainfield Butcher. I was like, so I bet he's like, Plainfield's probably close to here. And they were like, So we go back in, and a lady comes up to buy one of my shirts, and she goes, so Ed Gein. And I was like, yeah, that didn't do very well, did it? And she goes, well, you're wrong. He's not from La Crosse. He's from here. And I was like, well, he was actually born in La Crosse, but he moved to Plainfield. And she goes, Plainfield's 20 minutes from here.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, okay, so you guys, I was like, so I thought that I crossed a line where you guys are like, we don't talk about that. But you guys were upset because he's your killer, not La Crosse's.
Oh my
and
God.
she was like, exactly.
Oh my God.
So like they were upset that I was saying that they're serial killers from another town.
Wow.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot to be famous for. Just give us this.
Oh man, it was so funny. But we ended up having a great time there too. So that's where I've been. Now let's talk a little bit about where I'm going to be.
Where are you going?
So I, because of the holidays, actually, been very lucky. Had this weekend off, next weekend off. I know that sounds weird. I'm saying lucky. Where like a couple months ago, it was like I just want to do every weekend.
Yeah.
I would have taken shows probably. I just didn't try.
You would have taken shows?
Yeah.
Over Christmas weekend?
Yeah, because, you know.
Yeah.
What's it about, you know?
We would have opened presents without you.
Well, last year, I was in Alabama with Dusty.
Yeah, but we were with you.
That's true. So, anyways, coming up, what we have coming up in January. Now, January 7th, I'm actually going to be close to home. I'm going to be in Martinsville, Indiana, opening up for Haywood Banks. So you can get tickets for that show at madhatters.com. From what I'm to understand, these shows always sell out. So if you want to see Haywood Banks and would like to see me open for him in Martinsville, Indiana, MattAdders.com, get your tickets, and let them know you heard about it from the podcast. That'd be fun. And then the next week, so the 13th, I think the 13th, 14th, and 15th, I'll be in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I don't have the details exactly on this show, but I will be on the show with Jason Mewes. From Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this. Now, I'm not going to lie. I got on this show because one of my friends is his opener. So, my good buddy AJ, who you all heard on the last episode months ago, AJ opens for Jason Mewes on the road. And since they're going to be in Fort Wayne, he basically asked him if I could be on the show. He's doing me a solid. So, I'm going to be either hosting the shows that weekend or I'm going to be on... just doing like a guest spot. Either way, I'm going to get to go hang out with them in Fort Wayne for the weekend. So
that'll be awesome.
I'm really stoked about that. And then the next weekend, so that's the 13th, 14th, 15th of January. January 21st and 22nd, I'm going to be in Minnesota with Ricky Galore at Gutty's Comedy Club in Edina, Minnesota. So... come out there if you are anywhere close to that. That's going to be fun. Ricky's a great dude, super funny, and we're really going to have a good time. And I love that place. The owner there, Kyle Yamada, well, I don't know if he's like a partner or if he just runs it. I know Steve owns the clubs. I don't know what the deal is with that. Either way, Kyle Yamada's great. Mm-hmm. So then on the 28th, January 28th, I'm going to be in Portage, Indiana at... I think this place is called Decibels. I believe that's the name of the club I'll be at that night. So that's in Portage, Indiana on the 28th. The 29th, I will be in Bloomington, Indiana, doing a show at The Warehouse. Mm-hmm. So The Warehouse is like a really cool place in Bloomington that does like after school stuff for kids. But they do a lot of stuff. They do like benefits there, charities there. They host a lot of like big events. It's just a huge warehouse that they have like rock climbing in. They have a skate park inside of it. Mm-hmm. There's boxing. They do a lot of stuff in there. So, but I'm going to be doing a show there for them. They're putting on like their big, I don't know if it's like a Winter Fest type deal where it's kind of I think where they have a lot of people coming just to see what's going on at the warehouse. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I just know that they asked me to come be a part of it. So I'm going to be doing that on the 29th. And then February 4th and 5th, I'm going to be headlining at Gutty's Comedy Club in Greenwood, Indiana. Now, I've never headlined a club before. I've always been the feature, so I'm really excited about this. I'm excited that the guys at Gutty's have faith in me and want me to do it, that I know that I'm going to have a ton of fun doing it, so I'm going to be bringing... Some stuff that people probably have never heard before. I'll be doing about an hour of comedy. So there's going to be things that, are in my set that I do now as a feature, but then I'm going to be adding some things. I feel really good about what I have. And also, it gives me an opportunity to talk to the crowd a lot more, which is my favorite thing to do. And it's hard to do when you're the feature.
Right.
So that's going to be February 4th and 5th. Tickets for that are already available. So if you go to Gutty'sComedyClub.com, you can get tickets for those shows. It would mean the world to me if you are anywhere close to Gutty's, go to these shows because, you're the blessed ones. Let's show them that we can bring people. Let's show them that we can have a good time. And let's just show them that, Jake can sell some tickets.
Yeah.
So that way they ask me to do it every year. So... please bring people out. If you've been talking to people about the podcast, been talking to people about my comedy, thank you so much for that. I know I've gotten some messages from some of you that have told me, so-and-so told me about the show or told me about your comedy. I like you. So if you like me, hey, come show me. Come to the club. So it's Gutty's Comedy Club, Greenwood, Indiana, February 4th and 5th. My opener is going to be Von Michael, who was Killer Bee's opener. He's so funny. You guys are really going to like him a lot. Great comedian. And the host that night is going to be Steve Rivera, the owner of Gutty's. I messaged him the other day and asked him if he would be my host that night.
He's very funny.
He's very funny. I love Steve. It means a lot to me that he's going to be on the show with me because he's he's given me a lot of opportunities, given me a lot of chances, and I mean, he's the first club to headline me, so that's huge, especially this early on.
Yeah.
It's a really big deal to me. Very blessed. Please, if you can make it out. I don't do a lot of begging for my shows, but like for sure, please
but
make
he's
it to
on
this
his
one.
knees
Like,
in a $900 suit. I couldn't finish it.
It's all right. Most of my suits holler. You're like, 9 holla.
9
9 holla, baby. Because you put a suit on me and it's going to scream. It's like
the redneck coming out of me.
You're too big. Take me off. Put on lounge clothes. When do they make sweat suits?
They
you know what
do.
I mean? They make sweatsuits, but I'm saying a suit made out of sweatpants. Like it looks like a suit. Anyways.
Oh my God.
I'm
sure you could have one made.
Yes. So then the next weekend, February 11th and 12th, I'm going to be headlining Gutties in Minnesota. So Edina, Minnesota, I'll be there. And same thing. If you're anywhere close to there, please come out and support the club, support me. Like this is once a comedian starts, like the show is based on his name or her name, you gotta come. Like you gotta show up and support.
It's true.
So, but here's a fun little thing that we've talked about. On February 6th, okay, so February 4th and 5th, I'm at Gutties Comedy Club, and I'll be doing my stand-up, an hour stand-up there, 45 minutes to an hour there. Now, Sunday, we've not locked this in yet, but we've talked about February 6th, Sunday, doing a live podcast at Gutties Comedy Club in Greenwood. We've talked about it with the owners. They seem okay with it. I thought this would be kind of a good time to do it. That basically what we're thinking about doing is just come.
Yeah.
Just come. We're not going to charge anything. We're just going to have a live show. We're only going to be able to do this, though, if people show that they want to come out. Like, if people are like, I would go to that. Because otherwise it's going to be me, Chia, Michael Rubadue, who does the music. It's Steve, Dennis. There's going to be like 5 or 6 of us.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, well, I could have just done that at home in my underwear. So, and Steve doesn't like when I'm just hanging out in my underwear. So, if you have interest in that, if you think it would be fun to come see us do the show live, go to Facebook, go to Jake and Chia's Blessed Ones on Facebook, and just make a post that just says, I would go to the live show. Let's do the live show. Blessed Ones Unite. I don't know. Say something that lets me know, like, hey, we all want this.
Yes.
If it's something that you guys want, we'll do it. If you guys are like, no, that's fine, we'll just listen to it on our way to work, then I'm also okay with that. Whatever you guys want. So, then...
But it's a good night because you come out... There's concessions there, but it's also at the Greenwood Mall, so you could, get there early, go to lunch, or go to dinner after.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good night.
Dave & Buster's is
Dave
right
& Buster's, yeah. You got the Cheesecake Factory.
Maybe afterwards we can all go to Dave & Buster's together.
That'd be so dope.
Yeah, we can just all hang out. Let's have the first Blessed Ones outing.
Yes.
Let's do that. I'm into it. So we're thinking about, if we do that, it's going to be February 6th in Greenwood. So again, just go to Facebook, go to our group, Jake and Chia Rubel's Blessed Ones, and just make a post in there that says, I want to do that. So those are the shows that are coming up. I have a couple other shows after that, but those are the main ones that I really wanted to talk about. So hopefully I get to see you guys at some of those. Like, I would love to. Mostly come to any of the shows. Come to any of those shows. But, like, the one that I'm headlining at Gutties means a lot to me. So those of you who have been supporting me this whole time and have had my back, like, it would just mean how cool would it be just to get this huge picture at the end of my very first time headlining.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
All these people.
All
like,
the
I would
blessed
love
ones.
it. Yes. So come out if you can. Bring a bunch of people. Let's just have a really good time. Okay.
All right.
That was a lot to catch you guys up on. I understand,
Sorry, guys.
But that was a couple bucks, and I want to catch you guys up. So I think probably the best thing for us to do now that I think we should probably do is talk about what we've been watching, because we've been watching some good stuff. Or do you want to do something else?
Whatever you want to do.
Well, I'm the pilot, but you're kind of like the co-pilot. So sometimes whenever the pilot gets really drunk and falls asleep at the wheel, the co-pilot has to take over.
Just go with what we've been watching.
The co-pilot doesn't take over, then the plane crashes in the mountains. And the plane
it's crashing right now.
That's the thing, is the plane crashes in the mountains, and everybody has to decide on who they're going to eat first. And that's not a conversation that anybody wants to have, because the first thought that everybody has is, who am I going to eat first? They always think the fat person first, right?
The pilot's dead, so we would start with the pilot anyways.
You don't know
fresh
the pilot's
meat.
dead. The pilot was drunk. You don't know that he's dead for sure. And what if and
Well,
you don't know,
obviously, it's the pilot's fault if we're dead, so we're going to eat the pilot. So you're getting eaten.
No, let's have a conversation about that then. Okay, so the pilot is dead, and you're in your scenario, and the way you're talking about this, the pilot is dead, and that's the first person you're going to eat.
Yes.
You're going to eat the dead person. You don't know what he died of. What if he was poisoned, you idiot?
Yeah, I'd take my chances.
You would take your chances?
Yes.
No. Okay, then the second person you probably you're thinking of the fattest person there, right?
No.
That's what most people do.
I do the most. Not the most muscular, maybe like step down, because too muscular is going to be too tough of meat.
Yeah, exactly. You want to find the one.
Lean meat.
You want to find the one that was like he was like probably a quarterback in high school, but now he's like let himself, get a little bit out of shape because then there's still that muscle that's in there and it's underneath, but there's a nice little coating of fat that's over.
I guess.
Yeah.
You've thought too much about this.
I'll be eating some people.
I mean. I don't.
If I have to. I'm not saying I want to.
See this happening.
No.
Okay, Ed Gein.
No. Okay. Well, calm down. I don't think he ate people. He just wore them and put them in lamps.
I think he ate them.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's ever been documented.
I'm gonna Google that.
You should Google that because I don't think that's ever been documented that he ate people. That was Dahmer. Also, just so everyone knows, I'm not like a serial killer fanatic. It's not like I have all these facts just ready at hand. I know enough. You know what I mean? Like I just know enough. I don't want to be like a weirdo about it because some people get really weird about it, but I don't think he did. What do you find it?
It said actually that he was not a cannibal or necrophiliac. He did admit to grave robbing. So
yeah. So I think his thing was that he liked wearing women's shoes a lot. That was his big thing. He wore women's shoes, which I don't think is a crime. I don't think that's a crime. Sometimes I see a shoe and I want to wear it. That's not a crime.
Dude.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre was based on that.
Speaking of Ed Gein, whenever last time we watched one, you made the comment they've had Leatherface cross-dressing a lot the past few movies we watched.
Yeah.
I think that's because people were associating it more with Ed Gein, and because he wore women's clothes and women's shoes, they had Leatherface doing it more often and wearing women's faces more often. Yeah,
which I think is fine, but it just takes... I think it's fine. I'm not going to be a snob. I'm not going to be like a movie snob. I think it's fine. Whatever their interpretation is, that's okay.
Do you think it made him less scary?
I think in a few of them, the way that they portrayed him made him less scary.
Yeah.
Not because he's a crossdresser or anything, because like I've met some crossdressers that would mess me up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like...
You think it's because he was supposed to be like a psycho, but he was trying to be like too pretty?
It was that they almost made
as much as a Leatherface could be.
Well, they made it to where like his personality was like very bullied. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't the bully; he was being bullied into doing these things.
But I think he was.
Yeah, but to a certain extent. But also, I think he enjoyed it. They've kind of made it seem like he didn't enjoy it in the last few movies.
I guess that's true.
And I don't know what's scarier, somebody forced into doing a thing, but then again, like I don't know, because I think in some of the old ones, some of the women got away from him because they were like making it seem like they were into it and stuff. So maybe I'm wrong.
I think you are wrong.
I think that in the beginning of them, they dipped into it just a little bit,
just to see how people would react.
But it wasn't like a big part of it. But then later they took those little bits and pieces and expanded them.
I think it's
like
scarier to think of him being bullied into it, because you could be in that situation where if you're nice and compassionate enough, he could let you go. But if one of his family members busts in and yells at him to start back up, he's going to do it because he's scared of them.
Yeah, but then you have a chance. If he's a psychopath and that's all he wants, like he's into it, he's wanting to do it, then you have no shot. You have no chance. You have no chances. I would rather have the person that's constantly battling with their morals on it, that are like, should I kill this person or not? Mm-hmm. And then if I can just kind of weasel my way into just being like, come on, buddy. Like literally weasel it. And then they let me out, and then I take my chances with the family later. Instead of a person, I'm like, come on, buddy. And then he cuts my fingers off because it's fun to him. I don't want that. I want the other one.
You need to do what we've been watching since we're already getting into stuff.
Okay.
What are we watching?
All right, you want to kick us off?
Am I? I don't know what I'm going to kick us off on.
Well, you always complain that I talk too much and you don't get enough airtime.
Well, Okay, so I'll talk about things we watched just last night. So
That's fine.
I was on TikTok last night, and there was a TikTok about these random Netflix movies.
Movies with a twist.
With a twist, yeah. So there was 3 of them. We watched the first and the third one. We tried to watch the second one, and it was a foreign film dubbed over in English. I can't handle that. When mouse don't match up with the words.
Can you not do it with any movies? Because there's some movies
I would
that
have
I'm okay
rather
with it.
it been in its original language and read subtitles.
So you didn't watch any of Squid Games then?
No, I'm not going to because I already know.
I guess.
Because
I really like Squid Games.
TikTok ruined it for me.
I actually liked it.
If I could watch it in its original language with subtitles, I would like it just fine.
Okay.
It messes with my eyes and drives me crazy. So anyway, so the first one was called, what was it? Something in a ghost town.
Incident?
Incident in a ghost town. It was really, really good. Very short and sweet of it, because I don't want to do any spoilers in case you decide to watch it on Netflix. It's about a mom and these 2 girls, and they move out into the sticks to their aunt's house who had passed away, and it's completely full of junk, and someone breaks in, and then it just takes off from there. The TikTok spoiled it for us a little bit, so I don't want to go any more into it than that.
Yeah, well...
You can't really.
Here's what the thing that I'm going to say about the way that TikTok ruined it is because they said twist endings.
Yeah.
The twist was not at the ending of the movie.
That's true.
The twist was in the middle of the movie.
Middle.
So then after the twist already happened,
we kept waiting.
We kept being like, okay, well, what if this is really happening?
Yeah. We were like, what if that wasn't
instead of
the
enjoying
twist?
the movie.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it just would have been like, watch these movies.
Yeah.
Because really none of them were like, because the way that this person made it sound, they were like, these are the craziest twist in a movie I've ever seen. Well, Usual Suspects wasn't on there, and I didn't see that coming.
Shutter Island.
Right, there's a bunch of movies that have
coming.
like huge twists. These twists were kind of predictable, at least a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. And then, what was the foreign movie called?
It was called. I think it was just called like.
A classic horror
story.
Yeah, horror story. I think.
Yeah,
a classic
something
horror
like
story.
that.
So again,
I'll watch it
I didn't
later.
watch it because of the reasons I said. However, the premise of it does seem interesting, so I would have liked to have watched it.
Yeah, because it's about these people that go out. Did you already say what it was about?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. I don't listen to like things you say.
I know.
But it was about like some people, like a rideshare program. It seemed like some people were riding across the country together, and then a call ends up following them and like tracking them down and stuff and killing them one by one. Is what the details said.
And there's some kind of twist, and the girl on TikTok said if you really pay attention, there's clues in the beginning, but I'll never know because it'll drive me crazy to watch. And then the last one, I can't believe we hadn't seen it. It had Renee Zellweger and Bradley Cooper in it.
Yeah.
And it's called Case 39, and it's about a social worker.
What's that other guy's name? Like Ian McShane or something like that? The guy from Deadwood and John Wick and stuff like that. I think his name's like Ian McShane.
Was he the dad or the cop?
He was the cop.
The cop. Oh. The one I said looks like he could play a priest.
Yeah.
A good priest, yeah. So it's about a social worker who...
Ian McShane. I was right.
Gets a case about this family. She goes to talk to the family. She gets a call from the little girl in the middle of the night. And the parents, they're just, seemingly awful. They're out to kill their daughter. And then it kind of, there's a twist and it takes off from there. But I'm just surprised I hadn't seen it because I really, really enjoyed it and it really sucked me in. So.
Yeah, like halfway through the movie, I was like, "Oh, this is a Chia movie."
I loved watching it with Jake though because he was really into it too.
Yeah,
and he
good.
was so quiet that I thought he was asleep at one point. So no,
and you should have done that. That was so weird.
I didn't want to ask him like, "Are you awake?" Because I was worried that if he was asleep, that would wake him up. So I just kind of like peeked my face in front of his face.
You didn't like peek. She legit. So the lights are off in the room. We're just watching this movie, right? I'm sucked into it. There's a heated dialogue going on in the movie, and all of a sudden this little head comes into my vision right like 3 inches from my face and just like looks over on top of me. Scared the crap. I was like, what are you doing, you weirdo?
I knew you were awake.
You're like, oh, okay, you're awake. And I'm like, what was he going to do if I wasn't? Like, what was your plan? What are you doing?
Maybe I do that a lot when you're sleeping. I just sit there and stare at you.
God, you're so creepy. We've also new movies that we've watched. So we went and watched the new Ghostbusters. Really good. No spoilers. Talk about all say if you're a Ghostbusters fanatic, you know it. And if you're new to Ghostbusters, you're still really gonna like it because it's a new story. But it's definitely got the right amount of stuff.
Yeah,
really good. I went the other night to watch the new Superman.
Thanks for
Never get off moving. So I went to watch the Spider and again, no spoilers here. But if you listen to the I think that they over. I didn't have that issue.
Yeah, no. She's said nothing like that to you.
No, the only thing was there was a couple times where she would just like would gently put her hand on my shoulder and push me back down on the table because it was hard for me to lay flat for some reason. I just kept like I'd just bring my shoulders up. So I don't know, but that was great. And then we left there and went to the mall, did a little shopping at the mall. We were looking for Switches for the kids because we decided to really, really spoil them, and they all 3 got new Switches for Christmas.
We did not get them off the mall, though. We had to order them and cross our fingers they came in on time, which they did.
So no big deal. But then at the mall, we also got pedicures.
Yes, we did.
My second time getting a pedicure. I did not like it as much this time that I did the last time.
They were a little rougher.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't just that. I just felt like... I don't know. I just felt like they were like rushing through it.
Well, they were like jumping from person to person to person. There were so many people in there. So the first time we went, we were the only there was one other person there getting their fingernails done, but other than that, it was just us.
Yeah. So I think next time we'll try to find another place. Because look, here's the deal. All right, here's the deal. I'm in my mid-30s. I got a luscious beard, long hair, wear flannels. I'm a manly-looking fella. I get it. Girl, play with my feet all you want. Boy, play with my feet all you want. I don't care if it's a male or female. You get down there and you want to rub on them things, rub it down. I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah.
Man, I love pedicures. And I don't care.
I like them.
I don't care. Like, that's the thing. People act like all these things aren't... They're like, oh, well, that ain't masculine. That ain't manly. Here's the deal. My ideal perfect day is to go get a manicure and then go lay in like a hot tub.
Manicure or pedicure?
Pedicure, sorry.
Pedicure.
And then I'll get a manicure. I don't care. And then, so I get that, and then I go get a massage. I go straight from there to go get a full body massage, and then I like lay down, or like I sit down in a hot tub while somebody massages my arms, and I listen to Alanis Morissette. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why is it not manly to listen to Alanis Morissette and take a bubble bath?
I think it is.
I love taking baths.
Perfect.
I'd light a little incense, lay down in a little bubble bath.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Put down or listen to some Jagged Little Pill.
It's so good. You ought to know.
You ought to know.
You ought to know about this. So we did that, and then we went to the board game store and we bought a bunch of board games, which I was very happy about. So, and that's whenever we got the Marvel Champions. We're talking about games. And that's how we got the Marvel Champions card game. We brought it home and played it with Holden that night. And we had a blast.
Yeah.
I really liked it. It took us a while to figure it out. But, man, I had a lot of fun. It's for 1 to 4 players. I think this would be a really good game, like for just like 1 or 2 people to play. But, man, I loved it. It's basically like you pick a Marvel hero. I think I was Black Panther. Chia, you were She-Hulk, right? Or Miss Marvel. You were Miss Marvel.
I was Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, sorry. Yeah, you were Captain Marvel.
She's a captain. I'm just pointing
I'm pretty sure her name's Miss Marvel. I don't know. Either way. And then Holden had Spider-Man, and you play through, like, scenarios. So that was a lot of fun. But, like I was saying, there's another Marvel game that I really wanted. It's called Marvel Legendary. And I have 2 Legendary games right now. I have Legendary Encounters Alien. I've talked about it on the show before. Go back and find it if you want to listen to the kind of review on that. I love it. But then, when I was in Arkansas, my favorite thing to do whenever I go to a new place to do comedy is the day before the show, or that day of the show, I have nothing to do for all day. I like to go to local board game stores. and check out, see what they have. And I always go to like their clearance rack or like their used games and stuff like that to see what they have. I've been looking for, when we bought Legendary Encounters Alien, and we bought that, February of this year probably?
Yeah.
So we bought it in like February. We knew we were going to love it, so we just went ahead and instantly went ahead and just ordered the Predator game too.
Which Predator is so much better than Alien.
Well, movie-wise,
yes.
she loves Predator more.
Love
so
Predator.
we were like, okay, well, we already know we're going to love this game. Let's just buy the Predator one. So we ordered it, never came in because it went out of print. I was like, all right, I'll just find it online. It's like over $100 everywhere online. And I'm like, I'm not going to spend that much. We never only spent like $50 or $60 on the other one. So it's like $100. Sometimes if you find it like brand new in the box, it's like $180. I'm like, no way. Sorry, I'll find it. I'm in Arkansas. I go to the freaking game store. I'm looking at the shelf, and what do I see in front of me, my friends? Legendary Encounters Predator. And I froze and just stared at it for a minute, because this is like okay, we've talked about this before. I'm an addict, okay? I don't do drugs anymore. I always substitute my addiction to something else. And for the last, 2 years, my addiction has been board games. I love collecting. Comic books, board games. I'm a nerd. I don't care. Whatever. Who cares? It's fun. It's fine. This was like my white whale. I wanted this game so freaking bad. And mostly because I love the Alien game so much, I wanted Chi to have, her version of that. And I found it for $20 brand new in the box.
That's insane.
It was insane. I was like, is this right? And he was like, yeah. Yeah, man. I was like, okay, I'll buy it. So I bought that. So I've been wanting the Legendary Marvel game, and Mom got it for me for Christmas.
Oh.
So I have the Legendary Marvel game. We've not played it yet. We'll probably bust that open. So, oh, man. And we've been playing this game that a lot of people know about, but we just didn't. Cards Against Humanity.
Oh my gosh.
Holy cow.
Such a fun party game.
Oh my gosh. If you don't play it with children.
There is a children's version. Get the family edition.
Yeah, but it's not
if you want to play with your kids.
Not a clean game. Very raunchy.
If you're just getting the original game, no kids.
This game has made me laugh harder than anything.
It's so funny.
I laugh so hard playing this game. I love it so much. It's like Mad Libs, the game, kind of.
Yeah.
Only like the raunchy adult game. Because you'll have one card that'll be like, last night after dinner, last night for dinner, I ate blank.
Yeah.
And then everybody turns in a card that they have in their hand that has a saying on it. And the sayings can be super raunchy stuff.
And you turn them into the person to where they can't read what it is. They kind of shuffle those cards.
That's how we play it. I think there's another way of playing it, but that's how we play it.
And then the person reads the card again and fills in the blank with the other player's cards.
Whichever one makes everyone laugh the hardest wins.
Yeah.
So that's how we play it. I think there's a couple different ways to do it, but that's how we like playing it. Because then it just switches. Because I think there's one way where just one person is constantly reading it. Mm-hmm. Kind of like a dungeon master for reading the cards.
I would like doing that.
I love reading
That's
the cards.
what I liked about winning is I would get to read the next
Me too.
one. Yeah.
I love reading the cards. So that game is super fun. We've played a lot of really good board games here lately. We played the Blockbuster game is really good. If you're a movie buff, it's really good. You have to act one out, quote one, and then one word, and then your partner has to guess what movie. So it's like charades. It's charades for...
No, kind of. Well...
No, it is. Those are versions of charades. Because even the button says charades round.
Oh.
So it says head-to-head round and charades round. So it is a version of charades, basically, but only for movies. Mm-hmm. And then we played the 2000s Ultimate Trivia game, the 90s Ultimate Trivia game.
We didn't play the 2000s yet.
Yeah, I think me, you, and Jasmine played a little bit of it.
Oh, maybe.
One night, yeah. We played a game called Cockroach Poker. That's really fun. It's like a bluffing game. I like that. Very easy. That's a good one for anyone who's I don't really like games that much, and then that would be an easy one to get them to play. So, gaming is back.
Yeah.
We've been having a ton of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I actually think we might open up Legendary Marvel tonight. I'm not 100% yet. But we've not just been doing board games. We've been playing a lot of video games, too. Because we got all the kids their Switches, so they're all playing their games, and we bought a bunch of Switch games.
Yeah.
I've been playing a couple games on the Switch. I've been playing Diablo 2, which is an old game. I remember one of my good buddies, Elijah Land, playing this game when we were kids. And I wanted to play it so bad, but he'd like built his character up and stuff, so he's not going to let me mess with it. And I didn't have a computer, so like I couldn't play it because it was a PC game. And always wanted to play it, never played it. I ended up playing Diablo 3 when it came out for the PS4, and I loved it. I've beat that game probably like 3 times. So naturally, I wanted to buy this game. I got it a couple weeks ago. I've been playing it on the Switch. Really like it a lot. But then... Then we got the kids all these games, and there's a game that Chia has talked about a bunch. I never played it. It's called Pokemon Snap.
It's so fun. I wasn't even like a huge Pokemon fan. Actually, I didn't like Pokemon at all, but I love that game.
You were more like Tamagotchi.
I mean, yeah. Everyone had a Tamagotchi, though.
Man,
It's
you know
not
those
the
real hip kids had like 6 of them.
Yeah.
And those people grew up to be alcoholics. So I have never played it, but they have it available for the Switch now. I've been playing Pokemon Snap on the Switch. That is the most relaxing game I think I've ever played. Oh, it's so beautiful. I don't even know what any of these Pokemon are, but I'm just like, I'm snapping a picture of that guy. Look how pretty he is. Ah, it's good stuff. So, I think I'm good. Are you good?
I'm not going to talk about what we've been reading.
Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, yeah.
I know, but it's the end of the year. It's about ready to start new goals. So.
Yeah, so let's do that.
All right.
Here's what we're reading.
Before we get into that, I do want to say thank you very much to our Patreon supporters. We've not done that yet. And also, none of you jumped ship on this little break that we took.
Thanks.
You all understood that we were just taking a little break and we're going to be right back. And now we are back and we'll be back more regular. So thank you to our Patreon supporters so much for helping us. Because that was kind of nice because it wasn't like all the funds that go into like hosting the podcast and stuff like that. It wasn't, I didn't feel like we were just like, oh, great, like, you know, we're not doing anything and the money's just going. You guys kept it afloat for us, so thank you very much. We love you very much. Really appreciate it. If you want to be a Patreon supporter, just check it out at patreon.com/laughandbeblessed. And you can help us out there, and we'd appreciate it. And sometimes we'll, you know, maybe take a little bit of a break. But anyways, let's get into it. Chi, do you wanna start off with what you got there?
No, you start off.
You want me to start off? All right, let's start off by talking about our reading challenge this year. Everybody's been following it. It's been there's like a fantasy football league for just Jake and Chia's reading goals. That a lot of people are into. People are very competitive with this. There's a Chia side. There's a Jake side. Who's going to beat who this year? I don't know, but I like to pretend. So I had a goal of 30 books this year that I wanted to read.
Yes.
How many books did you want to read?
I wanted to read. Where are all these like stink bugs coming from? It's starting to freak me out.
I know, jerks. They're getting aggressive too, man.
So I wanted to read 15.
You want to read 15?
Yeah.
And you passed your goal.
Yes, I did.
How many did you read?
I read 33.
She read 33 books this year. That's huge. That's great. I'm very proud of her. My goal this year was 30 books. I wanted to read at least 30 books this year, and I just finished my 34th book. So I read 34 books this year. I had to beat you. I'm sorry. I had to beat you.
I got a few days left.
Don't. It's over now. No, it's over. Like you can't do that.
I'm not gonna play with that. It's funny. I'm reading, or I'm looking at my Goodreads right now, and the last book I read is called Pearls of the Heart by Jennifer Ashley. One of my friends lent it to me. It's a romance novel, and you know I talk about how much I love good trashy romance novels.
She likes to get saucy in the pages.
So she lent this to me, and I rated it on Goodreads out of 1. It was an okay read. It wasn't really boring. It wasn't boring. It was a fast read. But the main male character, he's kind of mean to his love interest. And that like put me off a little bit. So I rated it out of 1, and she actually commented on it, and she said, "Oh no," and I was like, "Oh whoops."
Yeah, you didn't tell me that.
I just seen it.
That's
I was
so
like,
funny.
I'm sorry, Katie.
Oh no!
Thank you for lending it to me.
She was like, your book sucks. Give me another one.
She always gives me such good ones, so I was a little surprised by that.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay for sometimes, one might just not be
So,
it.
and then the other books I've read since probably the last time I've talked to everyone was Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Playing with Fire. That's another saucy one. And I probably...
You were really into fire.
I was. And I probably did talk about this one, Life, the Universe, and Everything, which was the third Hitchhiker's Guidebook. So I've really not read a lot since the last time we talked. I am bumping my goal up at the first of the year to 20 books. And I will be writing out a to-be-read list. I have quite a few books I want to read. I have a goal this year. Well, first, back to my wonderful friend Katie. She gifted me some books. So let me go get those real quick.
Also, next year is going to be the first year that Chia reads a Stephen King novel.
I was going to say that.
Well, you walked away.
Okay.
I had to fill some space.
So along with a couple other books, my friend Katie lent me. I have 2 books.
Don't tell Chia that I told you guys about the Stephen King thing. She wants to tell you.
I have 2 books that I was able to pick off of a Book of the Month Club. One is called The Keeper of Night, and one is A History of Wild Places. I'm very interested to read these. And then, as you guys might have heard, I plan on reading my first Stephen King novel.
What?
Oh my
gosh.
gosh. This year, I think I'm going to start with Salem's Lot because it's been highly recommended to me by my husband.
Yes.
I want to finish all of the Vampire Chronicle books this year. As some of you might know, our beautiful Anne Rice has passed away.
R.I.P.
So we will not get any more of those from her. There might be...
R.I.H. Rest in honor.
Aw, that's sweet.
She wrote some good books.
She wrote amazing books. She's always been one of my favorite authors. It's funny because I have her, and then I have L. Frank Baum.
Right.
But
well, I think that's good though. Like I'm the same way. I have books that I read sometimes, and I'm like, this is nothing like.
But at the same time, they're both so out of this world type of things.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
That it really takes my mind off the real world because I don't really like the real world.
So did you tell us all the books that you've read since the last one? Did you get through all those?
I think so. I'm not done. Let me speak about.
No, I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to just hear all of them. I was curious.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what.
And then but yeah, so she passed away. So
oh my gosh, hurry up!
I at least want to.
Chia, flip me off.
Read all of her books, all of her Vampire Chronicle books, and then get into some of her other series. So yeah, I think for the most part that's it. I have these books written by Haddix. I forget what they're called, but
it's City or something like that. Didn't you say it's called something like that?
It's this Among series. So the first book is called Among the Hidden, and I've probably talked about this book before. I read this book in middle school, totally forgot the name of it, and I talked about it one day. And Jake's brother, my 17-year-old. At the time, I think he was 15-year-old.
He was younger than
brother-in-law, was he?
Yeah, this was a while back. Okay. He was in elementary school, I think.
Maybe he was. He might have been in 6th grade.
They don't really do book fair.
Okay. Well, they were having a book fair, and he seen it, and he knew what I was talking about. I didn't tell him what it was called, so I was super excited. I read, because we were in the old bedroom. Mm-hmm. So I read it super fast, and it occurred to me the second time around reading it in my life, I feel like there should be more. So I looked it up, and it's actually a 7-book series, and my mother-in-law got me the entire series for Christmas. Mm-hmm. So I plan on reading all those as well. They're really thin, quick reads, but the premise of the first book is that there is a law that you cannot have more than 2 children. And the boy in this, he's the third child in the home. So he has to stay hidden.
Have you read any of the Ender's saga?
No.
Read Ender's Game this year.
Okay.
There's definitely
You're putting more pressure on me.
Well, that kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think you would really, really like it.
Yeah.
There's definitely it does a great job of making you feel for the character so much that there's parts where you're just like, he's just a boy.
Yeah.
But it is.
Malfoy.
But that means that it's good. Like that's a good book if it makes you feel, a specific way towards what people are doing to the main character.
I want to read those, and I also at some point, and I probably won't get to all this stuff this year, but I want to read the Divergent series and the Maze Runner series.
Yeah.
So we'll see where I get with all that, but for sure, I only have a couple books left of the Vampire Chronicles. The Haddocks books will be quick reads. These are books from Katie and Salem's Lot, and then we'll see what else I put on my list. And hopefully I'll double it again. But we'll see.
Is that all you've read, though? You're done going through?
Yeah.
All right, so here's what I read.
Okay,
so,
let's brag about it.
34, which is not a lot, but like one more than what I needed. So what I think the last book I talked about reading, I feel like was probably my Seinfeld year. I'm pretty sure I talked about Laurel Canyon, which was the inside story of rock and roll's legendary neighborhood. After that, I read a book called Sackett, which was actually the 8th book in the Sackett series by Louis L'Amour.
Did you read the other 7?
So, hold on.
Okay.
So I think I started with that one because I thought it was the first. Because it's the Sackett series, and this was called Sackett.
Oh.
So I started there, but it turns out that it is actually the 8th book in the series. And then I read a book called My Seinfeld Year by Fred Stoller. It was okay. That book was just completely fine. It was okay. But then I read a book called Gasping for Airtime, 2 Years in the Trenches of Saturday Night Live by Jay Moore. Jay Moore sucks.
Who's Jay Moore?
So, Suicide Kings, do you remember that movie? I think he was in Along Came Polly. I feel like he was in that.
I don't know this person at all.
But he was on SNL in the 90s.
Okay.
Like, he was on it with, like, Farley and those guys. But it was just, like, almost the entire book was just him complaining.
Oh.
And it was like, dude, I get it. Everybody that's been on SNL has kind of been like, oh, man, like, that was like, so hard. But it made me just be like, dude, come on. Like, you're going a little far with this. Like, some of the stuff they would complain about, I'm like, dude, any writer would kill for that. But I don't know. It is what it is. I think he wasn't there that long. But anyway, so I read that, but that got me kind of like into like Saturday Night Live more so. Then I read Live from New York, an oral history of Saturday Night Live, and it's literally everything about SNL from the very beginning until like current.
Yeah. It
was phenomenal. I loved that book so much. It did a great job of really like just the ins and outs of every aspect of it. Really enjoyed that. And then of course like they would spend extra time and focus on like the favorites, like Belushi and Farley and Sandler and stuff like that. So that was good. And then I read a book called Make 'Em Laugh, 35 Years of the Comic Strip, the greatest comedy club of all time. That was pretty cool. It's a lot of interviews with comedians about the comic strip, so that was cool just to hear from a lot of different comedians about that. Then I reread one of my favorite books, The Crow Killer.
Oh, yeah.
I love this book so much. Crow Killer, The Saga of Liver Eaton Johnson. It is the book, basically, that... So Jeremiah Johnson was based off of this book and another book called Mountain Man, and they kind of, like, combined those two books together to make Jeremiah Johnson. But the majority of it was from Crow Killer. The nice thing about Crow Killer is it goes into... like almost all of Jeremiah Johnson, or John Johnston, whatever you want to call him, goes into like all of his life. And it's very interesting, the things that this guy did. He was a sheriff for a while. I mean, all kinds of stuff. It's such a great... If you like Jeremiah Johnson, or if you like anything that has to do with that kind of stuff, read this book. So good. So, it's, again, Crow Killer, The Saga of Liver Eaton Johnson. But at that point, then I'm like, all right, well, I'm pretty into this whole Western thing right now, like Mountain Men and stuff. So I was like, all right, well, I'll read another one of the Sackett books. So then I read The Sackett Brand, which turns out is number 10 in the series. So I went from 8 to number 10, The Sackett Brand. I really did like it. Again, Louis L'Amour. So then after that, I was like, okay, well, I got to keep reading these Sacketts. I like them a lot. So then I read Mojave Crossing, which is number 9. So I went 8, 10, 9. That was a good one. But then, this is the one I'm the most proud of. I finished reading The Dark Tower #4.
Ah, nice.
Wizard and Glass. I finally finished it. It was... I hate Stephen King. I didn't care for the book almost the entire time, and then like the last bits of it, it pulled me in.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, oh, now I have to read the next one.
Yeah.
Gosh dang. So,
How many books are in that series?
I think 7. I'm on number 5. So I think
Can you
so.
finish that in 2022?
The whole series?
Yeah.
I could finish number 5 maybe. I don't know. The last book that I read was Cheech is Not My Real Name, But Don't Call Me Chong. It was Cheech Marin's biography, and I loved it so much. So interesting.
Biography or autobiography?
Autobiography. He wrote it.
I'm just saying.
Hey, don't come at me. You only read 33 books, all right? Calm down. So, yeah, we went out this year on a good feeling.
Yeah.
So
our themes of every year.
Look at us.
Oh my God.
I swear that's where I was going.
Really?
Yeah. Look at us. Hey.
So
look at my soul. You are.
I don't want to.
You don't.
So I'll start. We started this in 2018. Our theme of the year was peace. If you want to look at them like New Year's resolutions, I guess you can. But it's really us taking one word we focus on and changing our life to help fit that word. And then the next year we carry that over and we add to it. So 2018 it was peace. We really worked on saying no.
That was a big thing.
When people needed things from us, when we really didn't have the time or the energy or something, it's okay to say no sometimes. If you're saying no just to be a jerk, that's one thing. But when you really can't, it's okay to say no. 2019, our word was self, really focusing on who we were as individuals rather than who we were as a couple. We have been Jake and Chia since we were 17 and 18. And at some point, we really need to say, who am I?
Man, I'm so glad we did that, too.
Yeah.
Because it really gave us both a chance to be individuals, and I think it brought us closer together.
Yeah.
But it also, since we carried over peace, we were making sure that we were still peaceful in everything that we were doing.
Right.
And it really, really helped. Like, many aspects
it kind
of it.
There are things about us that I discovered are different and everything, but it also solidified those things that are the same about us. Like, Chia as an individual is the same person as Jake and Chia, you know? So that was nice. 2020 was our year of finance. Even though it was a very hard year on a lot of people, it actually financially was good on us, just because I think we were focusing on that.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's a lot of other aspects that were horrible about the year, but that financially,
but because we had
good.
Carried over peace and self, we had peace about the situation. We did self-care. 2021 was our year of mind. So the biggest thing on that was reading, which we both did great on. I did not do as much with the kids as I would have liked to do mindfully. And even though I know this sounds ridiculous, I do feel like at times as a nurse, as a professional, I would like to read more medical journals and stuff just to keep my mind a little sharper.
Sure.
So obviously I'll carry mind over into this year with my reading goal and help build on that. And then if you want to talk about our 2022 goal.
I think, going back to mind, I think that I feel the same, that I feel like we did a good job of focusing on it, but I feel like we missed the mark.
Yeah.
I do feel like this is the first year since we've been doing this that we didn't really accomplish what we wanted to.
Yeah. I did read some nonfiction books, and they were books written by doctors and stuff. So that's why I'm not completely upset with myself, but it wasn't, like you said, quite what I wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
I wanted to enrich my mind a little bit more than I did.
Yeah, but I think if we carried over next year and focus on a little bit more next year along with everything else, I think that we'll be fine.
But that's part of this, is at the end of the year, if you at least if you've at least made an attempt, then you can keep carrying that over. So I guess we kind of did, because we did focus a lot on reading. You focused a lot on meditation this year. So
not as much as I wanted, but definitely more. And it's personal, so I'm not going to talk about it on the podcast. But I had kind of like a spiritual breakthrough recently.
Right.
That was, and I know that sounds like a cop-out, me saying that I'm not going to talk, but it's like it's 100%, it was for me.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't something to share. Like something personally happened to me while meditating that
I was going to say, but because of the state of your mind during the meditation. So I think we did more so hit it on the head than we think we did.
Well, that's good. Okay. I'm okay with that.
We'll just carry it over to next year. We'll keep up with our reading goals, and you know.
I think I'm going to keep my reading goal at 30. I think 30 is a good number for me.
Keep building up. I think 30 is probably good for anyone. I just have to build up to that. I reached 33 this year, but I'm too scared to make 30 my goal. So 20 will be my goal this year, and hopefully I get back to 33. What you'll read maybe 34, so I need to read 35. Yeah, sure.
Go for it, because I'm going to read 36.
So if you want to say what?
No, go ahead. This was your idea, and I'm following you on it.
No,
because I liked it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so our 2022, oh my God, I know you guys are sick of hearing us talk about these things, but we are making it our word of focus, so hopefully something will change, is health.
Yeah.
So I know we talk about dieting a lot. So I would like to, I'd like to, not so much weight, but I need to
just feel better.
Feel better. I have absolutely no energy. Part of health, though,
I want my body to feel like my mind.
Maybe going and seeing my NP, because I haven't done that in years. Also, I know you guys have heard me talk multiple times about me suspecting that I have PMDD. Maybe going and investigating that a little with an actual doctor, not just Google. Maybe looking into the possibility of me having ADHD, and do I self-medicate with caffeine all the time? Or is my energy due to my diet, or what? I have crappy energy. It's absolutely awful. I just want to lay down constantly. So, but our diet will play a big part in our health, because our diet's crap.
Yeah, but the thing is that, like anything else, I don't want to jump into it and just be like, all right, here we go. Like, we're doing this thing. And then we do it. The same thing we always do. We do it for a couple weeks or whatever, and then we slowly.
Yeah.
It's just always going to be in the front of our mind, health.
Yeah.
And I've already been doing it when I'm out. Like, whenever I'm on the road, a lot of times I'll just pull in somewhere and buy a burger. Like, that's the thing, that I'll just go buy a burger and then just cruise down the road and just eat it, and that's my food. So I eat like crap on the road. The last few times I've went out, I've not done that. I'll pull in somewhere and get like a wrap or something like that. Just, a little bit healthier. Or I'll get like chicken or something.
Yeah.
At the clubs here lately, I've been getting a lot of grilled chicken salads instead of getting like wings and fries.
Right.
So
Right.
I have been just trying to be mindful of it.
And I've been doing it at work too. I've been trying to eat more tuna and salads, even just a ham sandwich instead of, ordering pizza or something like that that's just slathered in grease. I do need to work on more.
Pizza sounds so good right now.
I do need to work on more plant-based foods, because I don't eat enough vegetables at all.
You need to focus on water too.
What?
You do not drink water hardly
I
ever.
really don't. I think in the past month I might have had 2 glasses of water.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's probably another reason why I have really low energy.
Yeah, you definitely need to put more water in your body. So this has been great. Thank you guys so much for letting us back into your lives for a little bit.
Sorry, it's a long podcast.
We just had a lot to catch you up on, and we still never talked about Disney. So
hopefully next Sunday we'll get back at it.
Yeah.
I'm not making any promises,
yeah,
though.
but we love you guys. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you for supporting us. Please, if you can make it out to Gutty's February 4th and 5th, go buy your tickets now, Gutty'sComedyClub.com. Get your tickets for that. Let's see if we can let's sell it out. Let's just sell it out. There's no reason why we shouldn't.
Right.
Let's do it.
Do it.
We're going to have so much fun. Let's do that.
It's going to be all the fun.
And also, if you guys are interested in doing a live podcast on the 6th, let us know. Or maybe just doing it like before one of the shows. You know what I mean? Maybe on like a Friday or Saturday night before the show. Maybe like an hour before the show or something like that. Or after the show. People like if you would rather do it then, and that way you come up for the show and then you get the podcast right after or right before. I'm open to ideas. I think the club's pretty good about... I can talk with them and see what they can do. So we can either do it on like that Sunday whenever we normally record anyways. We can do it then at the club with all of you guys. Or we can do it before or after show. Just go to our Facebook page, Jake and Chia Rubles Blessed Ones, or Jake and Chia's Blessed Ones, whatever it is. And then just comment on there and just be like, yo, we'd love to check out the live podcast. Let's do it on Sunday, or, let's do it on one of the days that you're doing the show, and then that way we can all come out to the show together, do the show, and then do the podcast. Whatever you guys want to do, let me know. I'm all right with trying to make it work. So I love you guys very much. Thank you for everything. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good
Happy
stuff.
holidays.
Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate, just have a good time today. Whatever you're doing, we're cool with. We like you. You're fun. Maybe. You might suck, but I mean, you're here, so that's cool. So love you guys very much. Have a great day, and, just...
Laugh and be blessed.
Suck it.